Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waharakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. I just noticed the way Apostle around I was looking at this goofy. Oh boy. Oh, you Christians be goofy, man. But this guy here, he's had a lot of glory, fighting against Islam. So he think he could get the same joy out of the Hebrew Israelites, but it don't work like that, son. The truth ain't on your side. All right. We've already proven time and time again that the Christian narrative, all right, does not agree with the narrative of the Bible. All right. Historically and prophetically, like nothing about the Bible agrees with the Christian narrative. It's a joke. So to suggest that this guy destroyed any Hebrew Israelite based upon the doctrine we teach out of the scriptures is crazy. So let's kick it off like a ball.
Because I'm trying to figure you guys out honestly. Isaiah 49, 5-6, when it says the servant, it's not enough that you're going to gather Israel, but you'll be a light bringing salvation to the nations. There it's talking about Israel and distinction from the nations. How are they wanting to say?
Yeah. And like the apostle said, those are Israelites. He doesn't understand what's happening. Again, because they play ignorant to the narrative of the Bible. All right. One of the curses that would befall the Israelites is that they would be scattered throughout the earth. This is why the scripture here is speaking about being a light unto the nations, that his salvation is to the ends of the earth, because the salvation is going to be at the ends of the earth, because there's going to be Israelites there. All right. But we're going to get into it.
Israelites. But ultimately, the nations will be taught this word.
And that's true. That is also part of the narrative of the Bible, because we are going to rule over the nations. And by virtue of ruling over them, they're going to be subject unto our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on our rules, laws, and legislations. Just like how the world is subject to the rules, laws, and legislations of Esau, Edom today. All right, and that prophetically goes into Isaiah 2, but that's going to happen after the salvation and the restoration of Israel. Because the restoration of Israel is firstly us returning to power. That is our salvation, but he doesn't understand that because they don't know how to put the narrative of the scriptures together. They're just picking and choosing where they want to pick up from and trying to make it fit their goofy narrative.
So those are not Israelites, right? Those nations are nations, right?
No, those are nations, meaning those are places. But the people to whom the light is for is the Israelites among those nations.
So the Bible says that Gentiles will be taught by the Israelites, because we're going to be a kingdom of priests, kings
What does it mean? He's not just going to gather Israel. It says he won't
He
just
doesn't understand. So we're going to get into that.
gather Israel, but be a light of salvation to the nations. He's distinguished.
Right, because there's going to be Israelites that are going to be scattered among these nations. Goodness gracious.
Between the two.
Psalm, I got a precept. Hold up. Psalm 140.
Right, so you can go and watch this video because the apostles is going to break it down. All right, you see the title there, you see the channel, but I'm going to go put in some work as well. I got to put in work on this. All right, but you can go watch the apostles because they're going to break it down. All right, so straight off the bat, right? And again, when you read the book of Isaiah, right, remember that the book was split into chapters to make it easier for you to understand. But the book of Isaiah is a complete prophetic record. If you read it in context, you read through the book of Isaiah, it's gonna break down the narrative for you if you just read it. So Isaiah 49, even here it says the salvation reaches to the end of the earth. That is literally the point of what that verse was talking about. That the salvation is not going to be only to the Israelites that were in the land, but it was going to go out to the ends of the earth, which is why the chapter starts with, listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far, right? The Lord have called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother, hath he made mention of my name. He have made my mouth like a sharp sword, in the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft, in his quiver hath he hid me, and said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. All right. The Lord is going to be glorified in Israel. The salvation is for Israel. Did not Paul say that the glory and the covenants and the service of God and the promises is for Israel? Come on, man. It says, then I said, I have labored in vain, and I have spent my strength for naught and in vain, yet surely my judgment is with the Lord, and my work with my God. And now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to bring his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. This ministry is a ministry of reconciliation. This ministry, the purpose of the Messiah was to bring back the Lord's people to him. It wasn't about bringing all the nations back to the Lord because they were never with the Lord. And this is what these men don't understand. The Lord never made a covenant with no other people. He made a covenant with the seed of Israel. The seed of Israel went off, and enmity was put between the Lord and the seed. But the Lord is going to bring that same seed back to him, back into peace, back into covenant. Come on, man. It says, though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength. And he said, it is a light fig, thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Now, people read that, oh, see, it's talking about different people. No, it's the same salvation. He's just letting you know that, yeah, this salvation, how great it's going to be. This word that you're preaching is going to have to go out to the ends of the earth, so that his salvation reaches onto the end of the earth. Because where was Isaiah when he was preaching this? He was in the land of Israel. He was in the kingdom of Judah, to be specific. But this same salvation that he was preaching wasn't just going to be in that land among those people. It was going to be preached throughout the four corners. Why? Because the Israelites were going to be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. That's why you got to understand the full narrative. All right. It says, thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel. See? And his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to a servant of rulers. Kings shall see and arise, princes also shall worship, because of the Lord that is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, and he shall choose thee. Thus saith the Lord, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in the day of salvation have I helped thee. I will preserve thee and give thee for a covenant of the people, to establish the earth and to cause to inherit the desolate heritages. What's that going back, going to? Go and read Ezekiel the 36th chapter, right? The salvation of Israel goes hand in hand with Israel returning into the land and retaining the desolate cities, the desolate places that the Lord had given unto us from the beginning. The other nations is they don't have no desolate heritages. The desolate heritage is talking about in the land of Israel now. It says that thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth, to them that are in darkness, shew thyself, right? They shall feed in the ways, their pasture shall be in all the high places. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor sun smite them, for he have, and that's the covenant, the new covenant, for he have mercy on them, shall lead them, even by the springs of water shall he guide them. The mercies for Israel. Read Hosea, the first chapter and the second chapter. Isaiah, the 14th chapter. And I will make all my mountains a way, and my highway shall be exalted. Behold, these shall come from far, right? And lo, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim. These are Israelites. Sing, O heavens, and be joyful, By the way, this where he goes, this synonym. According to, they say it can represent a people living at the extremity of the known world, may be identified with the inhabitants of China, but it probably wasn't as far as China, but it was a far place because Israel is scattered. The children of God were scattered abroad, right? Even after Isaiah, they became even more scattered because, like I said, this is prophetic. This is only during the time of the Babylonians. Israel became even more scattered after this. So when you're coming up to the time of Yahushai, Israel was scattered, man, and it became even more scattered after that. All right. It says, "Sing, O heavens, and be joyful, O earth, and bring forth into singing, O mountains, for the Lord have comforted his people." This comfort is not for all people; it's for his people, and will have mercy upon his afflicted. But Zion said, "The Lord hath forsaken me, and my Lord have forgotten me." All right. So again, it's gonna go show you again who the Lord's dealing with, Zion. Right. Now, if we go back up to verse 9. Not verse 9. Where was it? Verse 6, right? Let's get some cross references. We're gonna cross references. I also will give thee for a light to the Gentiles. Isaiah mentions this in Isaiah 42 and 6, right? Now, if you go to Isaiah 42, right? This is the promise concerning the Messiah, right? Isaiah 42 and 6. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles. Now, the covenant of the people is the new covenant, is it not? The covenant that the Messiah came to establish, is it not the new covenant? Yahweh Shai came to establish the new covenant in his blood. Who is the new covenant for? What does it tell you in the book of Jeremiah? That the covenant is with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. So it's not a covenant with all people. That's why it says a light of the Gentiles. Why? Because this word becomes a light to draw the Israelites that are among the Gentiles out of darkness, because they would be swallowed up among them. They would be scattered there. That's why this word has to be preached among all nations, right? It says, "And give thee a covenant of the people for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison. I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." Right? Now, let me jump down. Right? Who's the subject matter here? What does it say here? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the mouth? No matter which way you slice it, it's talking about Israel. And then, like I said, you read on into the next chapter, 43, it's going to continue to show that he's talking about Israel. Israel redeemed. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy, but let me go back. So Isaiah 42, that covenant is the new covenant. And the covenant, in fact, let's get that. The new covenant, was it Jeremiah 31? Who is the new? Here we go. New covenant. Uh, Jeremiah 31 and 31. "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." All right. Point blank, period. So it wasn't with no one else. All right. But these guys want to fool you. All right. Because they're banking on you not understanding or reading the scriptures to put everything in its proper context. Right. So let's go back. and look into these cross references again. So they got Isaiah 42. Oh boy, it's gonna get sticky for them, man. Then you get Isaiah 60. Right now, Isaiah 60 again. If you read Isaiah 60, what does it say at the top? A glorified Zion. All right. It says, "Arise, shine, for the light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee." Who's the glory of the Lord risen upon? Zion. For behold, the gross darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. Right? Really, it's talking about our people, because, like I said, these other nations, they've never been. they're not. They're not the subject matter here when you're reading the scriptures. This is Isaiah addressing Israel, right? And gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee. Who's the Lord gonna arise upon? Zion. And his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light. Now you read that, you think, oh, the Gentiles shall come to thy light. Yeah? Oh, like, yeah, but read on. Who are these Gentiles? And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about and see, all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy nurse that side. So whose sons and whose daughters are going to be coming? Zion's. Because the children of Israel were scattered abroad. Goodness gracious. Then shalt thou see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee, Zion, and the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of the camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah. All they from Sheba shall come, they shall bring gold and incense. They shall shew forth the praises of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. Who's the thee? Zion. The rams of Nabaoth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. The house of the Lord's glory is Israel. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons. Whose sons? Zion's sons. From far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers, this is the other nations now, shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. They're going to serve us. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Who's the thee? Zion. So I mean, these guys are not reading the scriptures. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee, who serve who? Zion, shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, and the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee, the other nations, shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee, the other nations, shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. All right. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated. Who's been forsaken and hated? Zion. So that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Redeemer, thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Right? And so we can go on, but you get the point. So Isaiah 60 is talking about the same thing that Isaiah 49 is talking about. And you can see who the subject matter is. But these guys, they want to play games. All right? They're playing games. The cross references are there. And what else we have? And then we have Luke 2, and these are all going into New Testament writings. And who was the light, by the way? The light that was going to rise upon Zion is who? Yahweh Shai. Now, who did Yahweh Shai say he came for? That's a good question. Matthew. 24. Right. Matthew 15 and 24. This is a quote. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So who was the light sent to? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. Point blank period. And that represented the Jews in Jerusalem and also the children of God, the Israelites that were scattered abroad, including this woman who he healed her daughter. She was of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's why he was telling his disciples this, because they wanted him to send her away. But he was sent to her because she was an Israelite. That's why you got to read the scriptures properly, man. All right. But let's go back here because there's more. There's more, right? What about where it speaks about salvation being to the ends of the earth? Well, there's scriptures for that, right? It says, Psalms 98:2, the Lord hath made known his salvation, his righteousness hath he openly shewed in the sight of the heathen. He hath remembered his mercy and his truth toward who? The house of Israel. All of the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Because the great salvation that's coming is going to happen before the eyes of the heathen and the four corners of the earth. Is it not written that Yahweh Shai shall gather together his elect from the four winds? It's the same thing. Right? Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. That ensign is the light. It's the Messiah. Right? To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Now who are these people? And it shall come to pass in that day the Lord shall set his hand to recover again the second time, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Right? These are the ones who the light, that when he talk about the light unto the Gentiles, this is why. And he shall set up the ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. These are Israelites. All right, the light, when it talks about the light unto the Gentiles and his salvation being to the ends of the earth, it's because Israel scattered in all these places. That's why when you go into the book of John 11th chapter, it speaks about the children of God, not for that nation only, but for the children of God scattered abroad. It is John 11th chapter, right? Oh, yeah. Where we at? John 11 and 49. And one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest that year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahweh Shai should die for that nation, meaning Judea, and not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Right? Ezekiel 37. So these guys, man, they destroyed. You ain't destroyed nothing, man. You don't know the scriptures. I told you the prophetic record and the historical record of the scriptures, the narrative of the scriptures, the complete narrative of the scriptures is in complete agreement with what we teach. Man are taking the birdie. That's what you're doing. Trying to force things. Trying to force it. All right. And there's more scriptures. We could have went into Isaiah 42. All right. Isaiah 52, the Lord hath made bare his holy arm in the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our God. Right? These are all scriptures. Right? Look at this. I will bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? But you see, in order for them, man, to run this game that they're playing, you have to be ignorant to what? To the history, ignorant to the scriptures. You have to not understand that, first of all, the Lord is only dealing with the Israelites. All the covenants of Abraham, after Abraham, were made with Israel, the seed of Israel, the seed of Abraham. And you have to be ignorant to the fact that the Israelites were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. That's one of the curses. In fact, well, let's get that in well, we can get that in a few places, but we can get that in Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. It tells you that the Lord was gonna. Wait, hold on, let's get that. Where is it? I don't remember the exact verse, but right, this is Deuteronomy 4:27. This is why what was written in is Isaiah was written about being a light to the Gentiles because of this. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, among the Gentiles, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you, and there ye shall serve gods of the work of men's hands. That's that darkness, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. And isn't that what Yahweh said? Love the Lord with all thy heart and all thy soul. When thou art in tribulation and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, this is prophecy. If thou turn unto the Lord thy God and shalt be obedient unto his voice, for the Lord thy God is a merciful God, there's the mercy. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them. All right? So this is what it's talking about, man. But these guys want to play games and talk about you destroyed what? Destroy what, man? The only thing that's getting destroyed out here is Christianity. It's through. Right? Your narrative stinks and it ain't got nothing to do with the scriptures. The Lord ain't dealing with the other nations, period. The being a light unto the Gentiles is talking about the Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. That's why the ministry had to go out, because Israel was scattered. All right. The ministry of reconciliation ain't got nothing to do with no heathens, man. No actual heathens. Because how can you reconcile with somebody you were never party to? That's like saying, oh, I'm going to reconcile with this woman I was never married to. I've just met the woman for the first time in my life, but we're going to reconcile. That's stupid. You can reconcile with your wife because you was once in covenant with your wife and you fell out. And now you reconcile, meaning bring back to peace. The Lord was never dealing with these other nations, man. What's wrong with these guys? Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.